right, shalom, 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 everybody. This is Ivan, the Trinity of Water, with another Purpose television show, and this is a big one. I know I say that sometimes because they are big now, but this is a big one. But before I even go there, before I go there, I have to apologize. I really have to apologize because as much as I talk about, I preach, as much as I talk about just being thankful for the little things. I told you a lot of these videos are for me too. When I'm looking back, and I'm gonna tell you what I'm apologizing about, being thankful for the little things, and I say something like, "Well, even though I only have 12 or 13 subscribers, just 12 or 13, just, I have to apologize about that. It's not if I had two, it's not a just. 13 people can start a revolution. 13 people that took the time to subscribe to my channel, and I say just. See, I want to apologize about that. And not only do I want to apologize about that, I want to tell you these 13 people, I'm going to, starting tonight, I'm going to say, I'm going to give some words of power, some powerful words, not a prayer, but I'm going to put something in the atmosphere for you. And just watch how things start going good. Now, if you're watching this, whoever's watching this, right? But these 13 are here for a reason. Now, you might say, oh, man, somebody might have just clicked for clickbait. It's what I don't care. I don't care. Whether it's 13, 10, 9, or 7, these are precious souls that I have the honor. See, I'm doing these videos like I'm doing something for Source. Like, yeah, I guess I do one. I'm just getting back from the gym, trying to work off all that Easter eating. Yeah, I guess I'll throw something together. You know what? This is what this show is about and why it's so powerful. I'm not in my right mind. It's no way you can have that mindset for Source and be in your right state of mind. This is Source we talking about. Say my everything. It may not be nothing to you, but my everything. And I'm putting forth that type of effort. 13 people, and I'm giving you anything? Look, I apologize. I'm going to tell you, I truly apologize to you. And I'm going to let you know, you're going to get some quality from me. Because I'm taking it. Remember how Jordan was like, oh yeah, I'm taking it personal now. I'm taking it personal. So with that being said, this is a show I've been wanting to do for so long, but I guess it just wasn't the proper time. Now is the time, you guys. Now is the time. And again, I have to give a shout out to Master Teacher 33, Will Rogers. Dr. Master Teacher 33, Will Rogers with no D. Rogers. Oh my God, man. This guy been such a blessing, man, for almost 9 years. I was saying 5, and I had to think back, man. I was 33. I'm 42 now. That's how fast time go. This guy has been a blessing, and I'm going to tell you, part of what he sent me is this show. So let me explain what I mean by that. He was talking about the 3 brains or the 3 sections of the brain, however you want to look at it. And I did, this was like 2 days ago. As I'm coming back from the gym, I think of a verse. Now, this is why I've wanted been doing this for so long. This is why I've been wanting to do it. This is going to be so powerful. If you could just sit back, I want you to digest it. What do I mean by digest? That's another thing I told Master Teacher. I said, thank you for everything you've been sending me. I'm taking time to digest it. Honestly, I didn't know exactly what digest meant, what it meant then, if that makes any sense. Meaning, sometimes I just text what I'm led to write. What it meant was, I'm going to tell you right after I read this verse. I have to read this first, and then I'm going to tell you exactly what that digestion meant, right? I just want to thank Source for allowing me to be able to do this at this time. Thank you so much. In all things that work together for the good of me because I love my source and I love y'all. So, woo, let's get to it. This is now is two. I looked it up on the internet, and this is what's so important about certain changing certain words around. And although they all, if you got the right heart, it's all going to equal out for the good if you love source. But what I'm saying is sometimes you can lose a lot of the meat. So if you got to eat this is some meat right here, y'all. And I'm a carnivore. So look. So this is going to be Romans, right? Romans. What is this? Romans 1 and 21. Now listen here. Listen close. Listen close. I'm introducing you. I'm introducing who, for those who don't know or think they may know, and why, just listen. Please do. Welcome to my source. It's time for y'all to meet source. So listen. For although they knew God, they did not accord him. They knew God. They did not accord him glory as God or give him thanks. Instead, they became vain in their reasoning, and their senseless minds were darkened. While claiming to be wise, they became fools and exchanged the glory of the immortal source or the immortal God for, this is big, please catch this, for the likeness of an image of a mortal man, neocortex, of birds, mammalian brain, or of four-legged animals like snakes, reptilian part of the brain. Come on with me now. So, the three sections of the brain, you guys, this is why this verse is so deep. And I haven't never heard it talked about. This is why we're all pieces of a puzzle. So when master teacher, when I listen, I'm listening not only to learn, but also, like I said, you never come to a feast with nothing to bring to the table. So I'm also, it's things that's going to my conscious, my subconscious. It's a lot of things going on when, you're doing this type of work. But it brought me to that verse that's saying, okay, I told you, you think like, okay, you and your neocortex, you think you're wise. That's your thinking brain. Your thinking brain. And it gets some things done. Just like in the Matrix. I got to drink a little water, excuse me. Just like in the Matrix. That's why his name was Neo. The one. The one. So you get there, you think that's it. But the immortal one, you know how they say it ain't Hulk Hogan. The immortal one. Source says what? Okay. Of all things, get understanding. So of the all things get understanding, right? Which is very important. Understand why people do what they do. Understand different religions. Understand why people act a certain way. Understand how you work first. Understand how your neighbor works. Understand how entities work. Understand what you need to understand for your purpose, and so on and so on. But then, what is source's wish? See, I want to do source's will, not my will. I want to do source's will here, and also I want to be a partaker in granting source's wish. What did source? What did the big G? What was the wish? A wish to give you a peace, which a dual meaning. Peace, Piece. A peace of God, of source that passes all understanding. That's the next step, y'all. See, I told you, it's like multiplication verses, and you have to, it comes to you and you start putting it together. So you get the understanding, like the Lost Gospel of Thomas said. When first, you will be agitated. Everything's agitated. Remember that. Everything's agitated here. Then you will be astounded. You like, whoa, you might see some miracles and some signs. If you see some like me, brother, I'm here for you. because you're going to need somebody. Just trust me, but you're not going crazy. But then after that, it say you will reign over the all. You will reign over the all. How do you reign with source? It's the 10% I'm telling you about, guys. It's even bigger than I thought. See, and that's why I say it's even bigger than I thought. And like I'm wise. You see what I mean? That's why it's so necessary to check yourself, like judge yourself on a daily. Like, man, like I said, I'm talking about just 13. Just what? Really? Man, I felt condemned, y'all. I'm like, I'm not giving my best. I know what I got. I know what I got. But this right here, this I need y'all to dig in and look into because it goes further. It goes further, y'all. So what I thought the message was going to be about. So I'm just coming back from the gym, so my mouth a little dry. I had to work off that Easter eating, man. Although I'm not like holidays and all that, I'm in eating. I'm just gonna tell you, I go hard at the gym. I go hard on my diet, but boy, I can eat too. Anyway, let's not sidetrack. That food was good. But the vagus nerve was on my mind. And about 2 weeks ago, Source told me, teach my people about the importance of the vagus nerve. So just a little bit, I haven't studied or studied on it in a while. I just knew it had something to do with the parasympathetic nerve system. And that it's like part of digestion, and it's part of the functions that you can control, right? And I'm gonna read. I took some screenshots, so I'm gonna read it. But yeah, I do kind of remember that, right? But remember when I said I'm gonna come to the part, or when I was telling Master Teacher I needed to digest it? That's part of digestion. I did not know that. It's crazy, but it's like a spiritual digestion to where you just not understanding it. Remember that 10%. So you're not getting it. Your wisdom not getting it. That 10%, that piece of source is getting it. Then you get a piece. Do you get it? A double-edged sword, y'all. And it's passing all understanding that forgot about the immortal one. The immortal one. I get a little excited when I can't even speak it. So that's why we got to just say source. But it's a code, you guys. Now, a lot of people, they won't go that deep, right? Trust and believe I can go so much deeper, but it's not even necessary because source is going to go to you. Source don't want me to do it for you. Source don't, it says, you say you healed them in my name. You say you healed that in my name. And I'm going to tell you, I did not know you. You're giving somebody a fish rather than teaching them how to fish. Jesus said, I'm going to teach, Yeshua said, I'm going to teach you how to be a fisherman of man. And you're going to teach them, but you're not teaching them. You're leading them. That's why that's why Yeshua said, follow me. Follow me. Do the things I have done. You get what I'm saying? And what did Yeshua, what was his only job? What did he always say? Hey, I come to do the will of my Father. Also, when he healed people, what did he say? Your faith has healed you. But a lot of people don't catch that. What he's trying to say is, you did it. That you have it in you. And that's what I'm telling y'all. So when it says about, and it goes a little deeper, but about the wise, it's so many verses in the Bible about people that think they are wise, but they are not, and wretched and poor. It's like, dude, if you ain't got it by now, I'm gonna put a helmet on you. Seriously, I'm gonna put you on one of them little yellow buses, and I'm not talking about them because you know what? God, source takes care of them. I used to take care of that kind, so I am not under any circumstances because I love all. You know what? They have things that's so special about them, and I might even do a video about it. Right? I did it for almost 10 years though, guys. So yeah, please don't dare think that. But anyway, moving forward, you guys, it clicked. It just clicked. And what's so funny? Look at that. I know. Hey, this one, this thing been through some. This been through some work, let's just say. So I actually, this is the first communion Bible, right? I think this is like a Catholic Bible. Why I used to use this a lot? It has more in it, more books or stories, what have you, than the actual Bible, but it goes a little more in depth. You know what I mean? Let me see. This is a little off the subject, but I was about to show y'all how it shows like the Sheol and the whole from the bottom all the way up to the top um, from the superior waters to the other waters, and just basically the light and the dark, all that was separated, which at some point we'll just discover it's not no superior waters or other, or less than waters or whatever they called it. It's not darkness and light. We'll discover just like us. It's all the same. So I got to get back to that vagus nerve. I got to get back to that vagus nerve real quick. So the vagus nerve, what happens in Vegas stays in that Vegas, baby. What it meant for me wasn't just what Master Teacher sent. Also, it was saying, share it for one. So start studying it, y'all. Put on some hertz or whatever, a good frequency. Maybe not use everybody frequency that's on YouTube unless you know them. But anyway, like I say, study that vagus nerve. Because what happens in Vegas, hey, we don't need it to stay in Vegas sometimes. So another thing, it was telling me about my nerves. So although when I did my little study a while ago, it didn't say anything really about, it said the parasympathetic nerve system, but it didn't say about like things getting on your nerves. However, I got to tell y'all about my day, y'all. So I told you with my nonprofit, I take trees and, trying to replant good, get the bad ones, replant the good ones, trying to make the neighborhood look better. You know what I mean? So, and I'm not doing it for the pat on the butt and the sticker and all that. I'm way past that, you guys, way past that. I'm not doing it for that, right? So I just want it looking nice. So anyway, right? Today, and I lead by example. I tell my work, I say, look, I tell my workers, I'm gonna do the job of all three of y'all. Because I'm a lead by example. Although I'm paying you, or like I told you, it's another company, or they may pay, but I'm going to lead by example. And I work, you guys, because I'm trying to get this work out anyway. Where sometimes they like, you got slow down. They like, you're not a spring chicken. But I'm like, I feel like a spring chicken. And you know what ended up happening, guys? This was ended up happening. Today, I didn't get a call from anybody, so I didn't think anybody was going to work. But my cousin, like I said, the other nonprofit that's working, she had them working. So as I was delivering some boxes, I see them, and they was like, man, we've been trying to call you, and my phone was actually dead, right? Everything happens for a reason. I'm like, I thought my phone was fully charged. Everything happens for a reason. So I get up this morning, it's dead. I throw it on the charger. But anyway, so they were like, man, we got to tell you something. We got to tell you what happened. We got to tell you what was said. So I said, what was said? I'm like, okay. Now I just assumed. I know it didn't have nothing to do with me. I come over there and they say, yeah, man, we were talking to your cousin. And she said, yeah, unless it's like carrying something or something really simple, don't call Ivan. Don't call him, I take care of you guys. I don't want him to hurt himself, or, he's just going to be standing around in the way anyway, in so many words. And they're baffled, literally. I wish I could have recorded it. They're like, dude, you do more than anybody. You tell us how to do the trees and all this, you know what I mean? And it's like, and I told them, I said, listen, man. I said, when I told you my family isn't quite like other families. I did another show about how, and I don't want to dwell on this stuff, but I'm just telling you, I don't know if you have a family like this. Another cousin that's trying to stop me from getting thousands of dollars, nothing to do with her, not going to cost her a dime. She's fighting like hell to stop me. And that's okay. See, because my nerve, they're trying to get in it. It was a song by Twister, Let Me Play With Your Emotions. See, it's so many signs that was coming to me. And I don't know if you ever heard it, but it says, let me play with your emotions. Hey, baby, can you buy that? You under my complete control. You know it's worth more than diamonds and gold. Don't be bogus to deny that. Emotions, yo. Let me play. Yeah. Listening to the lyrics, let me play with your emotions. That's what all these things want to do, whatever these things are. So I'm like, I need to do some deep breathing. That vagus nerve, deep breathing. You can control it. The things you can control, just like you can control your temper. So anyway, back to it. So they're telling me this, and I told them, I said, look, my family a little different. I said, basically, to them, they'll be like, what? Ivan can chew gum and walk at the same time? Really? I have to see it. And they're just looking so baffled because they're like, dude, you're one of the smartest, most intelligent people that I know. I said, listen, man, source gives you what you need, not what you want. How my family is, remember Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins? I could never be cocky, bro. Because they put me down more than any. Listen, and it's nothing personal. I get it. I'm taking it personal for another reason. But with them, deep breathing. Now, if you go too far, always remember the calm, cool ones is two polarities. That's why they be the craziest ones. So be careful. But as far as little stuff like that, I just told the fella, I laughed it off. I told him, and they just started laughing. I'm like, yeah, show a picture of me walking and chewing gum. And I said, look, however, and this is another thing about collaborating with people, while sometimes it's always best just to do things yourself, even if you have to wait, right? But it's like, how can I even think about something like that when the vagus nerve and certain, downloads coming to me. So I'm like, let me go eat. My brother had barbecued. Um, so I bring everybody their food. My sister, she's like a vegan, but she eats like turkey and stuff. This is relevant. So all the food is on the table. I made a mistake. Now I always wash my hands. It's a habit because of how my great grandmother was. So I made a mistake. She had like 20 of them. I made a mistake and grabbed one of her turkey sausages. And she said, "Oh no, that's the turkey." I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And I said, "You want me to put it back?" I said, "I apologize about that." That's exactly how I said it. She was like, "Oh, no problem." So she was like, "But did you wash your hands?" I said, I wash my hands." So my brother standing there, he like, one thing I said about Ivan, he always gonna wash his hands now. Even though I know it's a fluid, trust me, I know for you deep people that it's something that your hands automatically cleanse, and the oil you might wash it off. No, I get all that, but anyway, I'm just a citizen, baby. So I'm being silly. So anyway, I go down, I'm eating, and I leave, I come back. My mother said, "Yeah, boy, it went down." I said, "What happened?" She went crazy about that sausage. She had to go to the gym, and I said, "About a sausage?" I was, and I'm just like, no, see, they don't know what I do. This is what I do. And the more I do it, the more I'm going to do it. And it's like, I'm talking about a 10% piece of God, of source that passes all understanding, even the most inquisitive, scientific, preadamic minds that we have. And you're talking about a sausage. That's rich people problems there. Boy, if the only thing I had to worry about was having 19 sausages instead of 20, or well, maybe he didn't wash his hands, you just washing it. I couldn't imagine that being my only problem. But it's like she had to go to the gym. I said I will buy her 3 packs of sausages. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And that's just a few of the things. But people just, they're trying to get under me. I have my shirt off. I'm working out. A guy come, man, hey, ain't nobody gonna fight nobody as big as you. Now, my family too, it's some big guys. I'm not even considered big. Now, I'm stronger than them, but I'm not considered big. So they're like, man, yeah, I have to shoot you. Do you know how many people say that to me? Do you know how many people say that? And you know what I say? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. I sit there because I'm never going to let you, and not that I will probably ever get into it with them, but what people also say, you just don't seem like the type who would have a gun. That's very good. Now they think it's offensive. No, no, no. I don't want to seem like the type. Also, the other people, I don't say anything because why let somebody know how to come at you? Do you understand? So my thing, I just be thinking, well, I guess when they made yours, they just stopped making them. The factory was like, or they say, oh, you too buff, you too big to get a gun. You know what I mean? It's like, listen, I love me some source. I love me some people. I'm a loving guy, born in January. Another thing, my brother used to call me. Now he called me love because he said I used to love to eat. I was a big boy when I was younger. I was real big. So he always called me love because I loved food. Still do. But I'm trying to love the food that loved me back. But anyway, yeah, I'm a very loving person. January, love, love. How do I end all my messages? Peace, because that's that source, that peace, and love. That's why I ended like that. At first, I didn't even know this. I didn't know this. I didn't find this out to maybe about a year, like last year, right? But anyway, yeah, it's like I want to love, but best believe this ain't no Joel Osteen type type situation. You come the wrong way, trust and believe I'm going to defend myself. Now, I'm not starting nothing. I'm not picking with nobody. Like I said, I got this. I remember when I was married, and for some reason, and I found this out like 6 months ago. They said, see, I bring the best out in people, or I can bring the worst out in people, depending on where my mind and my polarity is. So, which is so funny about that, because deep inside, not only did I experience that in life, it was like I was living it. Like I go anywhere, I can just motivate people, encourage people, and bring out the best. But in relationships, it's like, man, I'm like, you are acting nuts over the littlest, smallest things. And they're like, I never act like this with nobody else. And I'm thinking, like, yeah, right. But maybe they was telling the truth. Because there was a few of them, like the smallest things. And I'm like, why are you raging like that at me? But I wasn't operating the way I was supposed to be operating. That's when you forget. Listen, hey, no matter who you with, your circle, your relationship, all of it, still remember how they talk about a sovereign citizen. You are you are an individual before you're anything. You know why? Because source made you a certain way. So before, that's why I say love yourself. That's why it's a formula. That's why that is first. Your neighbor, that means all extensions of people you see every day, those other gods that you see every day, that comes next. Because that comes automatically when you do your deep breathing and you love yourself. When your vagus nerve is right. Man, that vagus nerve, I'm telling y'all, because I love y'all, check into that vagus nerve. It is not spelled, I believe it's spelled Vagus. It's not, I know it's not spelled like Vegas, right? But you just speaking in, it'll come up, right? Please, y'all, do some good deep breathing. Woo! I told you sometimes if I was almost scared to do some super deep breathing because it was like, whoo, the downloads I would get was ridiculous. And then it was like I couldn't even sleep. See, what you got to understand is, depending on what coast you're on, I'm on the East Coast. It's almost 1 o'clock here. See, it's like, and I did a little deep breathing earlier, and it's still in me. It's crazy. It's like I could deep breathe to a degree. I remember one guy, I told him, I said, I could deep breathe and make my chest poke out more than bench pressing. He didn't believe it. I said, okay, I'm gonna go in the car. Had no weights, no nothing. I did some super deep breathing, y'all. I'm not making this up. My chest was poking out like this. It was huge, huge. Telling you some deep breathing, and it was instinctive. That's why sometimes I really like using my instincts. I don't never lose that. That's why that's part of being an individual, having your instincts. You understand? So I'm gonna end with this though. I'm gonna end with this. So that verse, right? Like I was showing you, Yeah, it's been written through. This book then been through some stuff, y'all. This it's been through some stuff. But don't think anything negative about your sections of the brain or your three brains, because I'm gonna tell you why. Source don't make no junk. Just like our junk DNA, just because they don't know what it does. Just like they say we can only use what 10% of our brain. Oh nah, I know firsthand. I know firsthand. Oh yeah, you can tap into a lot more. And I'm not going there. But you can, trust me. So, well, I know I can. I can't speak for you. Um should I say this? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. So I'm gonna end with this, you guys. Now, you just have to know how it functions. So just like the chakras, they have a negative spin and a positive spin. You have to learn. I'm not gonna tell you. You have to learn how how they all correlate and operate together. Do you understand? Source makes nothing without a purpose. Of all things, get understanding. So you can understand. You don't have to be an expert. Just understand. Then that peace will give you inner and overstanding. Because that's really the only thing that can. And that's why sometimes when I talk, a lot of people don't get it. It makes all the sense in the world and above the world to me. Or should I say it makes all the sense in the heaven? You know, I say, hey, this makes all the sense in the world. It makes all the sense in heaven. But here, spiritual things is foolishness. So as you do this journey, y'all, just know that. And I'm telling you, I'm here. I'm here. Now, I'm not source, but I am source. Do you understand what I'm saying? I told you, we getting to the point where people going to say, hey, us to 10, 13, 11, 10, they going to say, when I seen him, I know, I don't care what nobody said, I saw the Father, the Mother, and the Son. I saw 3 in 1. I don't care what nobody said. When I saw him or when I saw his sister, I saw it all. I don't care what anybody said. Because we didn't ate and digested those fruit. We didn't digested it. And then we got an understanding of it. And then the source, that peace, it passes our understanding. Do you understand? We can't really get it. We can't, even with the neocortex. We have to go above that, you guys. You got to use them epigenetics, not your regular genetics. You got to use more of your brain. You got to use your junk DNA to get to that treasure. You have to use some CSF. Okay, I'm going too far. I'm going too far. You just got to use what source gonna tell you to use, right? And whatever that is gonna be enough. And what you're gonna tap into, I'm introducing you to source, a feast, light coming to y'all. Don't not see it, y'all. This is I know. I know. How can you know what you don't know? I get it. Your God is the greatest thing since I get it. But just for 1 second, just to say if it got expanded, right? If that's anywhere possible, just sit back, clear your mind, be still, and you will know source. Be still. A piece of steel. You get how them words correlate? Double-edged swords. Be a piece of steel. Like steel, you strong, you there, and you can't be broken, but you're in a stillness, not agitated. That's a powerful, powerful place to be, y'all. And now I'm this close. I'm this close, this close. And I'm not doing it by strength. I'm not doing it by might, your spirit, because I can't. And that's what I mean. We can. That's why they say the wise. We could take these things, all these. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All these conscious things, and we can sound so inquisitive, intelligent, and elaborate so well. Right? It sounds great, but it does nothing for you. You ever been there? I know I have. I know I have. The quantum physics, I get it. The thoughts, I get it. Quantum physics, I get it. Physics, sacred geometry, and all these things. I get it. It's great. I get it. But I just understand it. A taste. Just enough. So Source can say, okay, now let me give it to you. Only Source can do it. That's the only teacher. That's the only teacher. Just like Paul said, once you get it, you get in your thinking state of mind, you think that that's it. You think you're wise. No, 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 no. You think you're what? A wise man. What is the 666? It's not just 6 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons. No, it's what? It's wisdom. It's a man. And what man was in the Bible that's trying to tell you this? It was Solomon. Why do you think so many things are built on him? The master builder. But he forgot the cornerstone. They rejected it because they couldn't get in. He had no heart. When you get so much power, power is the most powerful drug out here. You start losing your heart. You start darkening your heart. And you might sound so wise and move. Hey, you might move mountains. You might have all the faith because you've been doing it. All the faith, all the wisdom, all this. But you know what? Just like the Bible said, if you don't have love, you ain't got nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's your cornerstone. Now, it takes it all. Don't get me wrong. It takes a village. It takes a lot of ingredients of learning and falling and faith and just, the good per se and the bad per se is lessons and blessings. It takes all of it to build up a heart, just like the 5 heartbeats. It takes more than love to build it up. It takes more than love. But love is what caps it. So here's the biggie, y'all. This is the big, huge thing. I used to think, oh, so I just got to walk around. Oh, I love you. I love the birds. I love it. No, 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 no. Just put Source first. Meaning the number one thing, and you do it on purpose. So people say, how do I find purpose? Start doing things you know to do on purpose. That's how you find it. That's the easiest way to say it. Real simple, wasn't it? So what you do is your purpose, the love that you have for yourself, for your neighbor, for your Source, that just comes first. And then live your life. Your mistakes, your flaws, whatever. We're fearfully and wonderfully made for a reason. If it was not meant to be that way, it would not. So we forget. See, sometimes you forget. Source runs all this. Love makes things happen. So, yeah, it might pass our understanding. Our job is to figure out, okay, with what I have now, how can I put together what I need? Because we really don't know what we want. I'm telling you, we really don't. Take that back. I don't. That's why I just had to surrender. And you might get to that point, but I cannot speak for you. Anyway, anyway, you know how I'm about to end this one. Shalom over here. Love. Together. Forever.